Hello, sacred souls. It's Susanna from Shamanic Shaman. What I have here for us tonight is another fire ceremony, and in that, I'm going to burn the last little bit of stuff from recent ceremonies. So that's that nosy, invasive energy. However, a little while ago, a few weeks ago, I did a fire ceremony and unfortunately it didn't record. So most of the older stuff I burned in that last ceremony, but I feel like it was meant to be just for me since I tried several times and each time it just stopped itself. So I wasn't supposed to record that. But rest assured, all the past stuff has been burnt and this is from the recent one. Now for tonight, I have a lot of cedar that's gonna go in the fire to help us bring in really good medicine to cleanse and clear away all that dark stuff. I found that and really felt the need to grab it. I think it was 2 days ago when I saw it, and I thought I might dry it for tea, but it's actually so big. Like I wasn't even sure if I could like fit that somewhere in my mini apartment, my micro apartment. But I still had it in my car, and tonight I was brought close enough to the lake that I felt I needed to do a ceremony. Unfortunately, I took my rattle and bell out of my fire bag recently, so I'm gonna have to improvise a little bit by just having some pills in a pill case as my rattle. So that's gonna be improvised tonight. And I actually did put that in the fire bag recently. I do have a wooden hand to represent that stretched out taker hand, that gimme kind of energy. Oh, and wow, I didn't see that in the dark. So there are some droppings, some animal droppings. Look at that. Wow, some older ones and some fresh ones. Some older ones here, some really fresh ones here. Very interesting. Wow, look at that. Okay, anyhow, back to the fire ceremony. And then also very importantly, so the breaking of those dark spells and that devil energy or like demon energy from the last video hasn't fully been broken yet, as was shown to me here through this. So we're going to finish breaking that. And similar to the taker energy is the vampiric energy. And this has been in my fire bag for a while. So I'm going to use this as well as the hand for... Actually, we can do this. Oh, except the thumb is not very flexible. It's not like a real hand, but okay, close enough. And then what else do I have here? Yes, this one. It's a piece of wood where the woodworms created a beautiful design under the bark. To me, it looks like art. So, oops, let me just get up. I was not very stable there, squatting down. So to me, this really, really represents the beauty of nature and therefore the beauty of life, right? So this shall go in the fire to bring in that beautiful life that we want, to help us manifest it together with that beautiful medicine over here. And of course, we're going to start with letting go of the old stuff and those vampiric energies, finish breaking that. Oh, and I actually do feel called to throw in a bit of salt in the fire as well. Not too much, because this is my 4th attempt. And I think I have to put stuff in pretty quickly. Oh, and we're going to break a walnut as well to break all that stuff. But let me just come over here. I think I do have salt in here somewhere. Yeah, I did fill some up here. Okay, so I feel like we need a little bit of salt in there as well to finish banishing that stuff. Sorry, one sec. Okay. All right, so let's get started. Let's start with the smudging, simply with the fire smoke. And of course, at home, you can use the proper smudging. Please cleanse, clear, and renew all of our energies and take away anything dark, low vibrational, and unhealed, and transmute it into pure divine essence and return it to the universe for reintegration and help us fully and completely back into alignment, back into oneness within ourselves, within the God, Goddess, divine energy within us and all around us. And through that, help us be in oneness with all of creation. Thank you, Dankeschön, all my relations. Okay, and before we fully do the ceremony, I do want to quickly announce and mention a few things. So one, the women's virtual fire ceremony, the virtual healing ceremony, will be the first virtual one, followed by the men's next month. And after that, I will have mixed ones, but I was guided to start with a healing for women and anyone who identifies as female, and then in April for men and anyone who identifies as male. Now, for the women's, I was guided, obviously we're doing healing from the wounded feminine, but I was guided to really work on healing the womb, which stores a lot of trauma. And for the men, I was guided that we need that heart-mind connection healed. There was a disconnect, so we're gonna reconnect those stronger again to reach that cohesion, to help with the alignment. That is really important for healing and for the ascension process of thoughts, words, feelings, and actions, and bringing them in line, right? So body, mind, spirit, soul, kind of that whole alignment that was somehow disconnected. It wasn't quite aligned, right? And of course, all of us struggle with that, but for the gentleman, I was guided that that's gonna be sort of the umbrella topic. And of course, like as with all the ceremonies that I do, like with groups, there will be an umbrella topic. We might not always have it, but generally I'm guided to something that needs to be done for the group. And then of course for each of you, your individual healings and prayers, whatever comes through. And most of that will be simply between you and your divine team, right? So I really look forward to that. The men's healing will actually take place pretty much at the end of April, simply due to the tax deadline, and I need to deal with that stuff first. So it will probably be the last Sunday instead of the third one of the month, right? So yeah, sometimes I need to shuffle things around a little bit. And as I said, after that, hopefully, we can usually keep the ceremonies on the third Sunday of each month, as we used to have the positive perspective circle. But I feel like the actual ceremonies are more important. They take priority and there is limited time. So yeah, so I really look forward to that. And also thank you to the gentleman who requested a ceremony for men too. Since I am a woman, I was a little hesitant there, since sometimes there are issues that can be a little bit delicate, right? So anyhow, I really look forward to all of those, but let's get started with this one. Luckily, thankfully now, the fire is going nicely. So the fourth attempt really, usually the third time's the charm, but this time it was the fourth one, I guess. So, I mean, it never went 100% out, but it was down to just like glowing embers a little bit, and like it wasn't actually, burning. So with that being said, let us call in our divine team and then get this ceremony properly going. Oh, sorry. And I did want to mention one more thing. Just, I've had a few local ceremonies here, and each time there were some things that I learned. And basically, sort of the short version is what I've learned over the past 5 years was how I was guided by my divine team, by my spirit guides. And even though not everything is written in stone, basically what I receive should then be put into 3D in the best possible way that I can to get close to what they showed me, right? Now, for example, when I need to, let's say, flush muster down the toilet, everyone has a toilet unless they have an outhouse or a composting toilet, but most people have a flushing toilet. So I've noticed that there were quite a few people who seem to have misunderstood the flexibility that is still with this directly spirit guided way of doing the ceremonies, that people felt they could just switch things around a little bit too loosey-goosey. And like, for example, in this case that I was describing, the person simply wanted to rinse it down the sink. And in the moment, I didn't think it was such a big deal, but this was a person who had an issue with almost everything and wanted to change everything and didn't want to leave her comfort zone. So afterwards, I was actually guided that no, it's not a good idea, because I am being guided to do things a certain way because that's how they should be done. And if it's changed, it can be altered, it can be weakened. In the worst case, it can even be reversed. I had one ceremony where I was using the reversal crank to undo damage, and I trusted the person and I wanted to empower them, and then that person suddenly changed the direction of the reversal crank, so meaning undoing the reversal of the damage, meaning redoing the damage again, right? So that was something that afterwards I had to fix again. I had to do quite a bit of damage control, and that was not okay. Then also, like, for example, when I'm guided to use a solid color for something and someone replaces it with something transparent that just faintly has the color, most likely the healing will not be as strong. It will probably be a weaker form of the healing, right? So again, try to get it as closely as possible. Now, sometimes we have to improvise in a pinch, but when it's things that are available, such as everyone has a toilet, then why change it, right? So just something to keep in mind for those upcoming ceremonies, that really when I receive guidance and I give instructions, please, for your own good, try to follow them as best as possible. Now, I even had one person in one ceremony swoop in, and when he felt the ceremony needed to be finished, now there was looming rain about to start, but I was just about to wrap it up, and he swooped in and took it upon himself to initiate the closing and started pulling the fire apart, and I stopped him and then wrapped up properly. But that also is something that is not okay. And I feel that in each of those cases, there can be, to varying degrees, some dark attachments. Sometimes it can be something like a maybe an octopus or something like that, or something more full-blown like a full demon attachment, or someone can even be possessed by the devil. I actually had someone try to unalive his relatives who were supposedly very dark, but trying to unalive anyone is pure darkness. So I had to try to undo that as well. So there are a whole bunch of stories I can share with you, but I don't want to scare you, really. What I'm trying to say is that it really is important to focus on working with the light and follow the directions as good as possible, and always do things with good intentions and trusting the divine, your spirit guides of the light, to do it in a way that, first of all, you are going to be healed and protected and guided and shielded and so on. But it is their call initially how to, let's say, have someone else face their karma and so on, right? So anyway, sorry, I'm getting a little carried away here, but there has been a lot of stuff going through my mind while I'm preparing for these upcoming ceremonies of how to best prepare people for them, because some of these were people who were either supposedly shamans or studying shamanism, and then they pulled some stuff that is a complete no-no. So yeah, I'm still probably gonna add some notes as stuff comes up more for like guides for the ceremonies. And hopefully many of you have already learned a lot from my videos and possibly other sources that you know the basics, but I'll try my best to kind of, summarize everything so that people don't go into it completely clueless. Okay, anyhow, sorry, that was a super long intro, and let's get down to it. So let's call in our divine team and get started. All right. Dear divine higher power of the universe, our higher selves, and our entire divine benevolent spirit team of the light, including the 4 directions and the 4 elements, please join the ceremony and assist the healings, prayers, and protection with all of your powers. Thank you. Please close the circle of protection around us. Thank you. Okay, let me just fix the fire a little bit to make sure that we have enough wood in there. Okay. See how quickly it dies down? But we're gonna feed it right away. So, all right, let us express our thanks and gratitude for all the blessings in our lives. Right now, I want to express my gratitude to all of you for supporting me on this channel and with my ceremonies, and allowing me to, not allowing me, but for sharing these ceremonies with me that are still part of my own healing journey as well as yours. So I feel very fortunate to have like-minded people that are starting to form a small little mini community, mini collective on my channel. And hopefully I'll meet a bunch of you virtually, maybe some in person if you're in the Toronto area. And yeah, with that being said, let us put in the fire stuff from that last ceremony of the return to sender of the, and that was the U-turn candle basically, and the nosy invasive energies. And this wax should get things going pretty beautifully. Let me throw some wax right down in there. Might take a moment. Oops. Some smoke in my eyes. Oof. Okay. Yeah, it's coming already beautifully. All right. Okay. And Let all those spells, curses, and hexes that have continuously allowed these energies in again and again now be fully and completely broken and disconnected. Oh, looks like I have to actually just rip that apart. Okay, well, and with that being said, let any and all strings, this looks like a string that could, it was the strings and chords that still kept those energies. Okay, wait, I have a pair of scissors here. I just put it at the bottom. Hold on. Shoot. Possibly I put it in here. Yes. Okay. All right, give me a moment, please. Unfortunately, this didn't come with a beautiful case that's easier to open, so I left it in the original packaging. But I just love these scissors. So, let us cut. Hold on, I'm gonna switch hands. Let us cut these cords, bonds, shackles, chains, and leashes that kept us prisoner. Thank you. And tied to those toxic energies again, and have them come back again and again and again. And the little clue that I just got about prisoner goes back to war times, or even to ancient times, right, where we didn't have freedom, where we were prisoner. That could have looked differently depending on the situation. It could have also been something like slavery, right? So in either way, or in either case, not free. So let those, and I feel like I actually want to cut them even more. One more here, one more here, there. All of that shall be cut, and we shall be free from these shackles that bound us to these toxic timelines. And we shall heal from all that trauma that is connected to those toxic timelines. And with that being said, let any and all blocks, walls, barriers, and restrictions and limitations connected to that also be broken now and forever. And I'm gonna put, usually I like to eat that, but it's so smashed. All of that shall go in the fire. Whew. There. Okay. I think that's good enough. That's all in the fire. And let those taker energies that often coincide with that victim mentality of like the world owes me, or I'm so desperate, please help me, give me either your energy or your resources or any other form of help or money or whatever that might be. This could take on all different shapes, but let those taker, oh yeah, brilliant, okay, thank you. Let those taker energies, those thieves, in the sense of time thieves, energy thieves, and so on, now and forever be disconnected from us and gone from us. Let those connections to those energies be burnt away. Those bridges shall be broken and gone. And the same with those vampiric energies that are quite similar. Those vampiric energies shall be dead And again, I do not refer to specific people. I refer to the energy, that dynamic. We shall be healed from that by no longer having those kind of energies come to us. We shall no longer be receptive to those energies. We shall see right through any and all attempts of people coming at us in these ways, and they shall be banished now and forever to return to their dark hell, off-world, alien hell, wherever they came from originally, before they started to wreak havoc on Earth. Now and forever, they shall be gone and banished now and forever. And so it is. Thank you, Dankeschön, all my relations. Oh, whew. Okay, I'm actually only gonna put a tiny bit of salt because the fire is not burning too well, but let all those energies be. Oh, actually it's going well. Ha! Oh, I had to banish them fully with salt. Oh my gosh, sorry I'm screaming into the camera, but sometimes I have these aha moments. So yes, okay, that's what was stopping the fire the entire time. It's like I kept battling with the fire, and even though the ground was wet from the melting snow, a lot of the wood wasn't even wet, and it still wasn't really burning, and I was feeling quite frustrated. Look at how beautifully it's burning now. Hallelujah. Woo! Wow. Okay. With that being said, let's get the medicine in there first. The beautiful things in life I'm gonna save for last. So let's put this aside here. So I want to thank the great spirit of the cedar for planting itself right in my way. And please, by being a part of this fire, I feel like I need to weigh it down with a big rock. Ah! Sorry, one sec. The smoke went right into my eyes. Ooh. Okay, got it. Oh my gosh, this smells good. And this is beautiful smudge. Oof, yeah. Oh, let us be massively blessed, cleansed, and our entire energy fields cleansed, cleared, cleaned, polished, and anything dark be transmuted into light, into healing light. Oh my gosh, this feels so good. Oh yes. This is a massive healing for us to transmute, to heal that wound that kept attracting those energies to us, and we kept having those narcissistic energies come in different forms. I actually had someone wrongly correct me today. So in Canada, we say elevator, not lift. And I was in an old building from like the 1930s, and there was a beautiful old elevator, and the customer waited for me right next to the elevator on his floor. And I said, oh wow, I was just admiring the elevator. And he said, it's not an elevator, it's a lift. And I said, oh, I thought lift was British English. And I forgot exactly what he said, but then he said, oh, I think there's a sign over there that says it. And I'm like, yeah, it says elevator, right? So that's also the beautiful thing that I've noticed a lot of times around me, those kind of people that lie or try to gaslight, like this gentleman, or this man in this case. Or also, like, I had a neighbor who was just lying because he couldn't be honest in a certain situation, and his lies were immediately exposed, right? I just caught him right away. And same with that situation. Like, there was the word elevator right next to it, and he wrongly tried to correct me, to gaslight me, to like power trip or whatever. And it's exactly those kind of energies that just come out in so many unhealed people around us now. The more we move into the light, the more those kind of things are gonna come at us, until actually ErinLyons, Lyons, on YouTube called it the tipping point. It's like you have to keep walking towards the light and refocusing your thoughts, like the whole, that's why we have to reframe, like the positive perspective aspect, right? Keep refocusing on the positive and healing from all the different dark things, doing the shadow work and all of that, and just keep walking in the light and towards the light until you reach the tipping point, and then you're out of that toxic dynamic, right? So I feel like today is actually a really, really important day, because this is a massive healing with that cedar right in the fire there. So hopefully for many of you, this is actually the tipping point. We'll see how it goes. I'll also see how it works with myself. I can feel, like, for a long time I felt that I'm so close, but I wasn't quite there yet. So I know, like many of you, it can be a little frustrating sometimes when you know you're close, but you keep going and you keep going and you're like, oh, I still haven't quite reached that point yet, right? But we're getting closer and we're getting there, and we're getting a massive healing here tonight. So this is wonderful. And with that being said, let all the blessings and the beauty of life now start streaming into our lives. And let us now have and attract all the blessings that we deserve. Let us have fulfilling jobs, careers, or life paths, fulfilling tasks in life. Let us meet our twin flame soulmate, or be with them. If you're already with them, then let it move to an entirely new level of love and like fulfillment. And in any and all other aspects, let all the beauty and all the blessings that life has to offer stream in. Of course, also great health. Let us have harmonious relationships with friends and family. Let us have our soul family come into our lives now. Let us form these beautiful new age, not new age, new world communities. Yes, it is new age, sorry, but I meant to say new world. It's actually both. And let us look forward and see all and create all the beautiful things that we've been too caught up on, that we've been too caught up to see. We've been too caught up on looking at the past and dealing with all that stuff. But it is now time to shift the focus and look forward, look ahead, enjoy the moment, and simply be happy, fulfilled, and full of love. And so it is. Thank you, Dankeschön, all my relations. Wow. Whew. That's beautiful. Spirit of fire, come to us. We thank you for this healing. Thank you for this healing. Thank you for this healing. Wow. Whew. So it looks like I'm gonna have to finish the video before this is completely burnt, but let's see if I push it in more, maybe it's gonna burn enough that, you know, that I can just let the rest finish burning after the video. But at least I would like to see at least the wooden part be a little charred on the outside, and then it can finish burning after that. But oh yeah, the fire is surrounding it nicely now. All right, while this is burning, let me quickly share with you, I think it was 2 days ago, I believe, in my morning meditation, I felt the fire, the spirit of the fire, wrap itself around me just like a blanket. You know, when you're not sort of like in a sitting fetus position, but basically just sitting, and you got your knees up, right, and your arms kind of around, and then imagine someone putting a blanket around you for comfort, you know, like to comfort you, but it's almost like wrapping big arms or wings around you, but it's a blanket, right? So that's how the fire came around me, which was really beautiful, really wonderful. It felt very protective, very caring. So I actually have an orange blanket for ceremonies, for situations where we need that kind of feeling. So this could be just from spirit, or directly from like the spirit of the fire, or it could be from the divine. It could be a bigger version of the spirit of the eagle hugging you with the wings, or anything like that, right? So when you join any of those ceremonies, I highly recommend that you have a blanket nearby. It'll be in the list anyway. Oh, nice. But yeah, it's so wonderful, and having it be orange, and this is actually something that I found. Someone was throwing it out because they had washed a woolen blanket and it became felted, and it was a little bit uneven. Like the shape wasn't 100% like a square or rectangle anymore. Like it was not completely a square, but almost like a little bit rectangular. But it was just a little bit uneven. Not too bad, right? But I guess some people didn't want to keep it like that, and for me it's the perfect size. I love that it's thicker and that it's orange, which is really the color of the fire. Look at this, right? So just beautiful. I feel like when you're on the path, all the right things come to you, and pretty much exactly when you need them. Oh yeah, the hand, the hand, including the wrist part, is burning nicely. Look at that. Let me see if, oh yeah, that stick is loose. Perfect. I'll push it in a little bit more. But yeah, it's burning nicely. So there was a little bit of red felt at the bottom end, just So you could stand it up straight, and that already burnt away now, see? So, oof. Okay. I would like to get a little bit more cedar in here. Here's a bit more. No, these are still attached. This one came loose. Just having the cedar right on top there just feels perfect. But I feel like this has burned enough now that I can wrap up our video. I'll throw in a bit more of all of that, and if it doesn't fully burn, I'm gonna hold on to it and burn it again, because I've noticed like more people have discovered this spot now, and I don't want someone else to finish burning it if I can't stay until it's finished. I actually didn't have any oil with me today, so I can't pour it on to like speed it up. So but I think it'll be okay. The important parts have already burnt off, and anything else, yeah, see, the bottom is already turning into charcoal. Look at that. See how this part is already turning into charcoal. So this is pretty good now. This is it. Oh yeah, like there is no more, like most of the hand is gone, so it's just the wrist part. I think that's pretty good. All right, whew. Let us take a few deep breaths in, breathing in pure divine essence, pure divine light, and then exhaling any remaining darkness, any remaining hurt, pain, suffering, anger, hate, resentment, blame, shame, guilt, any of that stuff. Just breathe it out, right? So let's breathe in and breathe out. We're gonna do it 3 times. So once more, in and out. And one last time, in and out. All right, let us wrap up this ceremony and give a massive amount of love, thanks, gratitude, and blessings to our divine team. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for all the guidance, for letting it be the perfect day to do the ceremony tonight, and for really clearing off a lot of those energies. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Please open the circle of protection around us, but keep us strongly and massively safe, shielded, and protected at all times with a massive divine shield of protection. And so it is. Thank you, Dankeschön, all my relations, all our relations. And so it is. Wow. Whew. Thank you all so much for being here until the end, and for being a part of my own healing journey, as well as, of course, your own, and supporting my channel. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share, and subscribe. And if you'd like to support the channel further, there's a PayPal link down below. And please do keep your eyes open for I have to check which day I'm gonna do the men's virtual fire ceremony, fire being like with candles, right? And the women's is on the 22nd of March. I believe that's the 3rd Sunday. I'm gonna double check it, but I know it's gonna be on the 3rd Sunday, so I'm pretty sure it's the 22nd. And again, as I mentioned, as of May, we're gonna have mixed virtual fire ceremonies monthly. So I really look forward to that. And in the meantime, I'm sending you tons of love, light, and blessings. Be well until next time, and I wish you great abundance. Bye for now.